Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video I have a really special guest here next to me who will introduce himself later on. So we just want to share a little bit about ourselves, how we met, where we come from, and the cultures that we have. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. So please do grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee and make yourself comfortable.
Hello, my name is Pastor Richie and I come from Ghana. And this is my beautiful wife, Milly. We've been married together by God's grace for 10 years. And we have a very wonderful son. His name is called Robin. And I'm very much honored to be on today's program to feature in my wife's channel. And I hope you really enjoy today's video. God bless all of you.
So we met in 2007, and that was the exact same year that I came to Germany. And as I said in my previous videos, that I had to take a German course, and this course was usually twice a week. That was on a Tuesday and on a Thursday. Because I had to work like the whole day, I had only free time in the evening, and that was when I could go for these classes. So I remember that day when I was going to the place, I got lost, and immediately I stepped out of the bus. I just saw Prince Charming. He was just there looking all nice, and I just went to him, and something just drew me close to him. And then I went and asked him about the address, if he knows where the school is. And it was just a coincidence that he was also looking for the same school, right? Yeah.
Actually, I never wanted to be in this school in the first place because I didn't I thought I could not really speak the language, so why bother? I just learned it on the street. Until my boss, Stefan, is a very real good man, and he paid for the fees, and he called the school that I was coming. So really, and he gave me the whole afternoon free to go to the school. And actually, I realized that it is something God really arranged for it. And as I go to the school, the first person I saw was my Milly, and she was also there. She was missing, and she was looking for where the school is. And she came to me and she asked me if I knew where the course was being held and all these things. And I really saw that it was something that the Lord planned and brought us together. But when she saw me, she immediately fell in love with me.
So let's talk about the culture, right? I come from Kenya, my husband comes from Ghana, and these are two complete different countries. But one thing, I just want to say something before we start this. It doesn't matter where you come from, so long as both of you want to make this work, you can totally do it. It doesn't matter if you come from India, if you come from Afghanistan, if you come from Kenya, Uganda. So long as both of you really want your relationship to work, it will happen. It's only based upon you two. Culture doesn't have a thing on it, trust me.
Yeah, the most important thing is that you should have the same beliefs. At least with morals, you can work on it. But then you have to believe. If you are a Christian, it doesn't matter the color. Because when Christ came, he came for us, and we are together as one family. So I tell people that someone will say, oh, he's from Nigeria, he's from Ghana, he's from Togo, he's not from my country. And then another one will say, okay, now we are Ghanaians, he's Ashanti, I am Ewe, or he's Ghana, I am this. And then we are still fighting this tribal issue at the year 2017 after Jesus Christ has died for us. And we're still talking about these issues. But I chose to step out from the comfort zone and walk according to the will of God. And when God gives you something, you have to accept it and then work towards it. And I stepped in faith, and I tell you that I am a real happy man. Ghana has a lot of beautiful women, nice. I treasure them. They are so wonderful. Kenya has a lot of wonderful men, and it's a wonderful tribes and wonderful people. But our meeting is not just because we come from the same place, but it's because God destined it to be like that. And everything with the hand of God in it. We make Christ the head of this house, and that's what has brought us this far. So with culture, we have cultural differences, but we didn't really let it overshadow why we're together.
Yeah, but I think I should just mention like some of the things that I had to learn.
Yes.
Like what really stood out for me is like you don't have to give. If I want to give like someone something, I can't use like my left hand giving it. That is really disrespectful. Yeah. And for us in Kenya, I really didn't know anything like that because I've never had to do such a thing. So the first time my husband pointed that out, I was like, oh, I've never known this. But I think with the Muslims, it's also the same. Like they have the same kind of belief when it comes to doing that. And so in these years, like I've really, it's something which has really stuck in my mind, you know, like giving people things or handing over things with my right hand. It's just a sign of respect. And yeah,
and also there's one thing I also about culture. There are many things, but there was one that I wanted to talk about. It's about greeting people. You know, in West Africa, or I say in Ghana because that's where I come from, that we are used to calling everybody auntie, mommy, papa, or you can easily say Charlie. And yeah, we greet everyone you meet on the street. Hello Charlie, how far? Is everything okay? Yes. Even if you don't know the person, you can just jump into a form of communication. But when I visited Kenya, that was one thing. I walk on the street, the whole street, to the end of the street, and everyone I saw at the gate, I greeted them because I thought maybe these are my new neighbors. But I greeted almost 20 people, and only one or two just said hello, and they all looked at me strangely. So when I came back home, I told my in-law that, oh, look at what I experienced. He said, here, you don't greet people if you don't know them. And that was something that I have to learn because I've greeted people all my life. I'm old and I have to learn to greet certain people and not to greet. But it didn't really matter because I kept on greeting people because that has been with me for. And I think it's being polite to greet people wherever you are and just say hello. And that is one of the things I also learned about the culture and also the way West African we dress. Yeah,
that's something I wanted to also pin.
The way we dress is far different from how East Africans dress.
Yes, in Ghana, or I think also in Nigeria, like the West Africans, most of them have so many ceremonies, and like it's something like traditional ceremonies, and they really respect them. So like if you have like a naming ceremony, there's only a particular kind of clothing that everyone has to wear. I think it is white and black. So then everybody has to come to this kind of ceremony with that kind of clothing, and you know it's really amazing to see how they appreciate their culture. I mean, us in Kenya, like in Luo, I don't know, it's not really the,
you know, the thing is, we Ghanaians, we cherish our culture.
Every
land cherish their culture, and also the way we dress, especially with our men and with our women and with our children. We don't want to throw away what we cherish, especially when our mothers, they wear kaba and slits, and then they wear the heads and the thing, and you know it's
the jile.
No, not jile. We don't have. We call it duku.
So
we call it duku. So our mothers wear it, and they wear kaba and slit. It's very nice. You know, for me, it doesn't matter how many years I've been far away from Ghana, I still love it, and I want my wife to also wear it. But when you and as she said, if you go to ceremonies, they wear it, and we wear it to church, and that is like us. But when you go to Kenya, it's different. They dress differently, and can you say something about how you dress?
In Kenya, it's really different. We don't really, like, I can just speak for myself and where I come from. I think the ones who live more like in the village, or they dress also differently from the people who live in the city. And, you know, our moms really try that. They have the kitenge, and, you know, in Ghana, there's Ankara and all that. And the older women wear like their kitenges mostly, but the younger people just dress like modern.
You know, we dress modern also. But we love our own Ankara. We love our own way of dressing. You know, even though we have suits and everything, but every Ghanaian has something from Ghana that we wear, and that was not even what I wanted to even talk much about. I wanted to even stress a little bit more about the form of dressing. You see, like we were in Maasai land, for instance, and they dress completely different.
Yeah, the Maasais. And the Maasais have their own clothes.
I just love it because they don't want to steal the dressing from anyone. They want to be who they are, and I really love it. And when you go to other parts of Ghana, for instance, like the Ashanti region, I really appreciate them. They dress the way they want to dress. They don't want to copy anyone. And when you come to the Ghans, they dress the way they want. So that is one of the things I really appreciate with Kenya and Ghana. The way of dressing, I really respect them, and I appreciate it. And my wife also really respects and also appreciate the way we dress. So I don't really stress, this is how we dress in Ghana, and so you have to dress like that.
No.
So really, we had to come to a compromise. I remember when I was in Maasai that I saw Maasai land, and then I saw some people who have also dressed in the way they dressed, and I said, if you dress like this in Ghana, everyone will just say something is wrong with you. But that is
but that's their culture. I mean, you can't change that, and I think that's just what makes them stand out.
And I really love it. You know, I really wish I could also dress like that. Maybe next time we go, I'll be making some Maasai photos.
Last time we went to Kenya, we visited them, and it was really nice, like to see them, singing and all that. And I went to school in Maasai land, so I know how they really are. They're beautiful people, and they're just special.
Friends, let me tell you something. African culture is the best.
It's the best. It's amazing.
It doesn't matter how many years Africans are alive, no matter, we pass the culture to the next generation.
Yeah.
And I love it also with the Europeans. Well, I cannot speak for all of them, but I can speak for people from Bayan. You know, they wear this shorts with long socks.
Yeah, and only when they have Oktoberfest.
When they have the Oktoberfest, but that is what they have. And I really love it. Culture is important, and it has to be kept.
Yeah, and it has to be kept.
And also sustained and passed on to the next generation.
So another thing we want to talk about is food, because food is just everything, right? Since I decided that I will spend the rest of my life with this wonderful man, I knew that I had to know how to cook their food. And trust me, it has been a journey. It has been a process. And I have failed. Sometimes I've even cried because, the food just came out so pathetic. But years down the lane, I've really mastered the way to his heart. And trust me, food is something important. When you have a family, you have to know how to cook. That's it. You have to know how to cook.
You know, there's one thing with Ghanaian men that I really respect, or Ghanaian culture that I really respect, or with our mothers in Africa in general that I really respect, is that they don't really appreciate it that the family should be eating outside, or we should be going out to be eating out every time. No, they prefer that even if you eat out, you have to eat in the house. Wherever you go, you have to come home and eat. And as my wife said, down the lane in West Africa, in Ghana, for instance, we have a different way of cooking. In Nigeria, they have the way of cooking.
It's true.
Every land has the way they cook, and the way they cook in Kenya is different.
It's very different. Yeah.
For instance, in Ghana, we have soup, a pepper stew and soup, but in Kenya, they have just one. That is like pepper soup. And the other thing also is that they have also their major food. That is ugali, and they also have chapati, which I really love them, because ugali is almost like benku in Ghana.
Yeah, ugali is like benku.
It's like benku.
So they're quite similar, but I think benku tastes a little bit sour. Yeah, it has a little bit of taste, and there's also kenke. You forgot kenke. Yeah, kenke is very nice. You can eat it with tilapia and pepper, and it's perfect. Yes. You just add a little bit of shito, and you're good to go, right?
You know, my wife is in love with the Ghanaian food, and I don't want to get her wrong. She really likes it, and also my son. And you know, I like Kenyan food also, but when it comes to my Ghanaian food, I think I was born with it, so I really like it. And also there are other food and you know, in Ghana we can use one type of like rice, we can use it for different things. Like when you take rice, we use it for rice water, and kete we use it for jollof rice, we use it for wache, We use it for
fried rice.
We use it for a lot of things.
Yeah, but I mean, also in Kenya we have like pilau, and we have like another form of jollof, but you know, it's just like a normal mixture of beautiful things together. Yeah, but I think you just can't beat the fact that jollof is something so nice, and you also have wachi, which is amazing. Wachi is beans and rice together, so that's...
You know, my wife is in love with the Ghanaian food, don't get it wrong. I don't blame her, because then my mother really taught her how to, you know, put food together and cook the Ghanaian style. And she cooks so well, better than I do now.
Yeah, now I know I'm good. Before it was a mess.
Yeah,
trust
before
me.
Sometimes it's not really, you wouldn't like it. But now it's so, you know, my mother used to say something that she always said, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And I thank God that my wife has come to terms and also learned so much, and I have also learned a lot from the Kenyan food and the way they do
but I think
things.
just growing up, I was the only girl in a family of 4, so I had to know how to cook at a very early stage. So I think my mom just brought me up in a way that, like, things like cooking and, you know, just taking care of yourself as a woman, of your family. That's what I learned from my mom. She took care of us so well, and that is something that I've always wanted to do. When I grew, like when I'm older right now, you know, just to take care, to be able to cook for my family, for my husband, for my children, and not just only cook, but cook something good, have good food. That is
one thing that is good with our mothers. You know? When you are a girl in the house, our mothers try to teach you how to cook, how to take care of a home, and how to take care of a family. Yeah,
it's important. It's really important.
I learned how to cook, not from my mother. It will shock you, but because I traveled when I was a bit younger, and then I was always alone. So
bachelor's life.
So most times I have to call my mother, and I'm cooking granite soup. What should I put in? And then she will be saying it step by step while I kept on cooking it. And also I used to call some of my friends, and as I meet people, I ask them, do you know how to make palm nut soup? Normally I just cut everything, put it in one pot and put it on the fire. And Ghanaian food, you can do them like that. You have to take your time.
You have to take your
process,
time.
When to put what. And I thank God for...
It's a process. It is a process. You can make a soup for maybe 1.5 hours, because it is a process. You have to start with the meat. You boil the meat, you season the meat, and then you have to cook this separately, and you cook something else separately, and then in the end you have to mix it all together. And before you're done in the kitchen, you're tired. Like, it's 2 hours. Your appetite is even gone. That's how it is.
It's food you have to cook with passion.
With love.
With a lot of passion. You don't just be angry and put everything on the fire because you are mad, and it's going to come out also very not so well. And so you need to cook it with a lot of love, a lot of time, and so we thank God for the fire He's brought us with.
Maybe in future videos I'm planning to make some of the Ghanaian dishes. Like I have a request to make some meat pies, which I'll be doing with my son very soon, so look out for that.
So there's much to talk about food, but I think today is the introduction video, and we just want to talk just a few things about food, and then the next time we will talk more about into details.
So we've finally come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for sticking with us, and I'm so happy that Mr. Akam, aka Harvey, decided to join me in today's episode. I hope he was a blessing to you as much as he is in my life. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. That's the only way I can know that you guys love this kind of videos. And please don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends and family. That will mean a lot to us. And God bless you all. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.